Hey guys, how you all doing? This is our last final video for bright field microscopy, and then we're gonna talk about dark field microscopy and other microscopes. So let's get started. Now this video we're gonna talk about little add-ons on the bright field microscopy. So you must remember the formula, right? That D is equals to 0.5 lambda upon numerical aperture. And to get the greater resolution, what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to make this wavelength shorter as much as possible. How can we do this? See, whenever we're using visible light, it is having wavelength of 0.55 micrometer. And when we are using UV rays, X-rays, gamma rays, wavelength is becoming shorter. And when we use them, resolution will become higher. Now, can you tell me one more thing? What about if I talk about electron? Electron have shortest wavelength. They are both particle size and wave. Also, they behave like particle size and wave, right? So when they are having such a shortest wavelength, then how much high resolution will be provided by electron microscopy? So that's why electron microscopy are difficult to manage because it uses electron, and that's why they are of so great importance because they provide you higher resolution as compared to anything. Like if you compare resolution provided by electron microscopy and resolution provided by bright field microscopy, resolution in electron microscopy will be much higher because they're using electron, they're using shortest wavelength particle. I hope that's clear. Now there's one more thing. Numerical aperture is not decided by us. See, during the oil immersion lenses, we were changing the medium and we were kind of increasing numerical aperture. But there is some basic values that always comes with microscope. How? Whenever those manufacturing are designing these kind of lenses, they're making sure that numerical aperture is getting decided. See here, it's written over here 0.25 is the numerical aperture, and so the magnification is decided. With the increase of numerical aperture, magnification is also decided. So what am I saying? Numerical aperture is not decided by us, they're already written on the lenses, and so their magnification is already written on the lenses. And that's how we calculate magnification. We're going to talk about in the next slide. But numerical aperture can be little increased. That we increase by changing the medium using oil rather than air. But that's only a minimal difference is created. Otherwise, all numerical aperture are decided by the manufacturers who are designing the lenses. Now, why bright field we are saying? Why are we saying bright field microscopy? Bright field microscopy denotes by bright background because it's saying bright field, right? There's a bright field and on which images are visible as dark images. Now, why are we getting bright field? See, whenever the bulb is getting illuminated and light passes through condenser, then light, all the amount of light is passing through the stage. This is your stage, okay? And when the light is passing through the stage, it is not only hitting the specimen but also the field around it. So when light is passing through the field, it is hitting the objective and the path of the of the field is getting visible. When it is hitting the specimen, the path again becoming visible. And how are we demarcating the image? Specimen has cells, right? Cells have refractive indexes, different refractive index. Cytoplasm have refractive different refractive index. Cell membrane have different refractive index. So when light is passing through the field, it's not getting refracted and it is clearly getting to the objective lens. But when it is passing through the specimen or the cells, it's getting refracted. So that's how we just demarcate images. I hope that's clear. Now, bright field is a routinely used microscope. It is highly common microscope that is mostly used every now and then. And it helps in examining stained specimen as well as unstained specimen. We can stain the specimen and staining procedures will be discussed in some other videos. But unstained specimen, as we just talked about, if we are not staining specimen, just because of refraction, they'll become visible as they're having different refractive index. We know this. What are binocular lenses? Binocular microscopes. Those microscope having ocular lens for each eye. We studied about it in the past of in the parts of microscope. I hope you remember it. Now, how do we calculate magnification? See, when we were looking at the lenses, there were magnification written all over it. 0.25 was the numerical aperture and 10 was the magnification. So whenever you want to calculate magnification, multiply the magnification of objective lens, multiply the magnification of objective and eyepiece. You will get the magnification. So whenever we are looking at the image, having objective lens of 45x as magnification and eyepiece as 10x magnification. So the final image is 450 times magnified as per to the object. Ocular lenses have measuring scale. Now what if you want to measure bacteria? What if you want to measure how much far apart the bacteria are present on the specimen? We can simply use ocular lenses, and there are also slides which consist of measuring scales, and that's how we can measure our bacterial size. Parfocal microscope. Now, this is very important for any microscope as one of the property, because we know that nose piece consists of many objective lens, and whenever we are rotating objective lens, our image is getting unfocused. Every time whenever we're changing objective lens, image is not becoming focused. Okay, because every objective lens has different focus. So what manufacturers make sure that the microscopes are parfocal. What does that mean? Whenever we are changing the objective lens, image remain always focused. Now we need not to remember how, because that is the work of manufacturers of the lenses and the microscope. We just need to remember that these kind of microscopes are parfocal. So whenever we are changing objective lens, we need not to care about the focus, if the image is in focus or not. If we just set image for the focus for the first time and then we are rotating the objective lens, it will be focused for every time. And now look at the images. This is one of the kind of images that are observed or that are get by the bright field microscopy. This is unstained specimen, so just because of refractive index, you can make out the shape, and you can make out that there's some particles over it, that it has some kind of flagella over it, and it is kind of triangular cone shaped, and you can see it like it's irregular shape. So you can make out the images, but you cannot make out the internal structure, and this is one of the drawback of bright field microscopy. Also see this. When we're gonna talk about dark field microscopy, we of course gonna say that these microscopes are much better than bright field microscopy. But see, can you see the bright background? In dark field, you are seeing the dark background. In bright field, you are seeing this is your field, right? This is your field. Apart from the specimen is what your field, and which is bright, which is white in color, and this is your stained specimen. Again, you can see the shape, you can see that something flagella over here, and you can see the nucleus, but the things are not that clear. In dark field, you can easily make out that there's some specimen, and it's clear, it's much clear. And in phase contrast, you can make out that there are cilia who are attached with the membrane of the with the cell. So bright field help us in mainly knowing the image in the shape and size of the bacteria or the other microorganism, but more than that, it does not help us to calculate any other more features. Now the last part we are talking about is advantages and disadvantages of the microscope. Advantages is simple, that it is easy to use, that's why it is routinely used in the labs. Unstained specimens can be visible because of refraction, we talked about it. Disadvantages, live cells are not clearly visible because live cells are present on the water, right? So water must be having the refraction and the live cells are also having the refraction. So it is not possible to clearly demarcate live cells with the water. Okay, so that is one of the disadvantage. We cannot make out live cells, we cannot see live cells clearly onto the onto the image. Viruses cannot be seen because viruses require higher resolution to be seen, and bright field cannot offer that much of resolution to which help us to see the viruses. And internal structure of bacteria, of course it's not visualized. Forget about internal structure, you cannot even make out what is there in the cytoplasm and many more things. So bright field and internal structure is just completely opposite. You cannot use bright field to demarcate any kind of internal structure. It'll just help you to get the shape, like when we are saying ki it was irregularly shaped or it was triangular cone shaped, so you just can make out some kind of shapes. Otherwise internal structure, viruses, live cells are just not happening with the bright field microscope. So with that, guys, we completed our bright field microscopy. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for being good listeners. And we'll be meeting in the other video. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.